There's one. I can't even get my nymphs down through the water. There you go. Proof that big fish eat little bugs. If you're enjoying the video so far, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to make sure that you'll get all of my new videos when they come out, and I would love to have you along for the ride. Thanks. Hey everyone, it's the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and that can mean only one thing. It's time to prep for some steelhead fishing. I live in Virginia, and there's no steelhead anywhere near here. In order to find them, I've got to drive about 10 hours north to Erie, Pennsylvania. My wife has some family that lives in Erie, and so we're usually up there sometime around either Thanksgiving or Christmas, which gives me one and only one day a year to get a crack at those steelhead. With only one day a year to fish for these steelhead, I've got to make sure that I've got everything I might possibly need ready and prepped ahead of time so I can maximize my day on the water. All of this prep work ahead of time is what contributes to having a successful day on the water. Now I know that the name of my channel is Brook to River Fly Fishing, and what I'm not here to do is to get into a debate about what's fly fishing and what is not. My goal is to catch fish, and catch a lot of fish, as many fish as possible in a day. The entire reason that steelhead are even in the tributaries is that they're coming out of the lake in order to spawn, which means that the rivers and the tributaries are full of eggs. I have zero problems with fishing egg patterns. I also catch a lot of steelhead on my little tiny black stoneflies, and I even fish peg beads sometimes. If that's something that bothers you, I'm sorry that it does. You probably want to skip the rest of this video and maybe tune in to watch the next one. If you want to see a lot of steelhead get caught in a short amount of time, stick around. It's 4 a.m. the morning of Black Friday. I'm up early not to go shopping, but because I'm about to go out and do some steelhead. A couple miles from Erie, getting close to where we're gonna fish, following the snowplow down the road. All right, we're getting geared up. Okay, time to rig up. We got 4 inches of fresh snow on the ground, and I'm guessing there's a lot more coming. I'll be starting with 3X Trout Hunter Tippet today. I just met up with my buddy Seth Lucas. We're gonna go walk through the snow for a while and see if we can find anything down there swimming. What we really need is a sled. Just go down that hill. Watch out for trees. All right, y'all, here we are. We're ready to start fishing. There's Seth, Erie native, expert.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna see what we can do fishing this fast stuff with our Euro setups. I'm running a peg bead on my tag, and then I've got an attractor nymph underneath. This is just a blue steel caddis, size 16. We're gonna get the ice out of our reel and we're gonna start fishing. Our goal here is to be right off the bottom. So I've got 2 split shot on, plus a tungsten beaded nymph. I might have to lighten up a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can go to a smaller, lighter nymph here. My second cast in, I'm already on the bottom. Now he decides he wants to go. That first steelhead I caught was not super fresh, but it also wasn't super old. It's been in the tribs now for probably at least a couple days. When they come into the tribs right out of the lake, they're bright, shiny, and chrome, have a lot of fight. The longer they're in the tribs, the less shiny and chrome they are, the more dark color they get, especially on their backs. But we're happy for any steelhead. We don't care. The trick is being near the bottom without constantly hung up on it. You've got to be near the bottom to find the fish, but there's a lot of snags down there too. Another thing that helps when you're having trouble seeing your sighter is just fish closer to you. So the farther away your cast is, The more snow your eyes have to see through. If you can't see your cider, you fish right under the rod tip, you have less snow to look through. That's not always possible, but when possible, it's not a bad strategy. I have a lot less weight on right now, so I'm not getting down. I'm gonna try more of a tuck cast, drive those flies in, get them down quicker. I'm already on the bottom there. What's that? Fish on. He ate the egg. This one does not have a lot of fight to him so far. I'm getting ready for him to take off. All right, we're gonna see if we can get on him quick. All right, not bad. He ate the bead right in the jaw. All right, buddy, here we go. Ready? See you later, man. So that's one for the egg, the bead, and one for the nip. Yeah, man, good work. The two that I hooked are really not in very deep water, like maybe 2 feet. The last one took the bead, the first one took the nymph, but the last one took the bead. I have an orange bead on. Neither of them were really aggressive takes, which kind of surprises me. They're both pretty subtle. I'm gonna take a water temperature here in a minute to see what we're working with.
I tempted the other day, it was 43.
Okay. I'm like fishing right under the end of my rod. Because I find too that the more, like the farther I cast, the harder it is to see my cider. So I just keep it close to me and it's a little bit easier to see it. Still a pain though. Okay, y'all, it's getting kind of hard to see my cider. So I want to show you the trick that I learned from Dom at Trout Bitten called the backing barrel. I have about an 8-inch piece of Dacron backing, and I'm going to tie it in a uni knot above my cider. 2, 3, 4. That's a 4-turn uni knot. I want to cinch it down nice and slow, and I also want to cinch it pretty tight. Now what I do is I cut off the bottom tag right here below the knot, put the waist in my vest, and then cut the top about 2.5 to 3 inches and leave the upper tag sticking out like that. What this does is gives you another visual reference to draw your eye to this. It's also infinitely adjustable as long as you don't come to a knot. So I put my fingers on it. I can slide it as deep or as shallow as I want. It's good for fishing deep holes. If it's up there, put it back down and I can fish the shallow stuff. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, it is a little annoying, but when I come steelheading, I don't want it to be 60 degrees and sunny. No, you don't. I'll take the crappy weather any day. All right, let's check our bead spacing. Get our split shot at the right level. And let's catch us another one. We're on to him now, folks. We're on to him now. There's one. That's a pretty good jump. This one's got a little bit more fight to him. Is he coming up? This is a fresher one. Good size too.
Even with the fresher fish though, still they're kind of a little bit lazy on the fight because they're just so cold. Another one on the bead. Right in the mouth. That might be the best one of the day so far. Let's see him swim away. All right, man. Oop, that's my net. Can't get that way. See ya, buddy. Starting to see some ice flows in the river. I need to get some ice out of my guides. Another thing I got to do is periodically break the ice out of my guides, because otherwise your leader starts hanging up in it. Just makes things easier. Ice, ice in the reel, ice in my guides. There's ice and snow everywhere. Guys, I'm hooking these fish in pretty shallow water. Like, they're all in like a couple feet of water, which is sort of unusual. I think they must be moving upriver because they finally have water, but I think they're staying in the slower, shallow stuff. So as there gets to be ice in the water, it gets a little bit harder to register takes because you got stuff bumping your leader kind of all the time. That, coupled with the fact that it's already hard to see your leader, makes it tricky. It's definitely doable, and we're still going to catch fish. Just trying to focus right now on this really slow current off the main current. There's one. They're not sitting in the current. They're sitting on the edge in the slow stuff. That's mostly due to water temperature. He's coming back at me. There he goes. Come on, buddy. Where are you at? This guy's back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I kind of brace my fighting butt of my rod. I don't know if you can see it against my arm in these situations. Oh, he's right in the ice. That really helps me to get some leverage on these fish. Try to get below them and work them over if I can. It doesn't always work. He's on the nymph. Blue steel caddis. There we go, in the net. See you, buddy. Man, that does a number on your fingers. All right, see if we can find another one. That one came on the nymph too, right in the slower water. It's only like 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep. My sighter is, or my tippet is honestly way too long for this. I did not expect the fish to be sitting in this shallow of water. I don't really feel like re-rigging, because if I come to a spot that's deeper, I'm gonna end up having to put more tippet back on. We're just gonna run it like it is for right now. Put up with it until we either find deeper water or we just can't take it anymore. You can see I still got my egg on the tag. Blue steel caddis on the point. It's been split. I've got about half the fish on one, half the fish on the other. Oh, there was one. I felt it and saw it. Didn't stick. We got some company downstream. We got company upstream. Lots of company. That's okay. We're catching fish. think we're gonna pick up one or two right here in this little inside bend. This is some nice slow water here. It's also got some depth to it. I bet you we got some fish sitting right here in this slow stuff. Right in there. There's one. Guys, even these steelheads have patterns. They have patterns where they're gonna hold, where they're gonna be. That one ate the egg, ate the bead. Gotta net him fast. Not even gonna let him run. Okay. Decent little steelhead. Right there in the corner of the mouth, just like we like it. All right, let's get him out and get a look at him. He's got some spunk to him still. He came in quick. Guys, when you're steelhead fishing, you're gonna see people. Thing is, with this water like it is, there's lots of fish and they're spread out. So once you find some fish for them, catch them, and then don't be afraid to move and keep walking. Now that we know the water type they're in, we're gonna find more fish other places. Knowing that water temperature, guys, has allowed me to adjust where I'm fishing and target the area where the steelhead are instead of just guessing. Because without taking that temperature, I would have been fishing all the fastest current. But that's not where most of the fish are right now that I'm seeing. Oh, there was one. All right, I'm getting ready to go for a walk. My feet are getting cold. I've been fishing this section for a little while now. I'm getting ready to move. Get some blood circulating back through my toes. So one thing I've learned steelheading in crappy weather like this is that you need to keep moving. You can't keep your feet still and stay in the same spot for hours on end. And the reason I say that is because a few years ago, I was fishing water that was the same temperature as it is right now, 32 degrees, and I got mild frostbite. My toes actually lost feeling in them, and for the next 3 months didn't ever come back. So my first mistake that day was wearing only one pair of wool socks. My second mistake that day was staying in the same place for way too long. And if I do that, I tend to lose circulation in my feet. And then doing that for 8 hours will eventually lead to mild frostbite. Thankfully, my feeling in my toe came back. My toes. Thankfully, the feeling in my toes came back, but that's not really something I want to do again anytime soon. So I'm not getting down. Let's see if I still have, nope, I lost it. All right, let's try adding another split shot. Small one. So one reason I carry a lot of different sizes of split shot is because I don't always want a big hulking giant one. Sometimes I want a smaller one. Check my spacing of my thing. Okay. All right, y'all. I just foul hooked one a minute ago, which I don't count in my numbers because I didn't hook him fair. However, even foul hooked fish tell you things. For example, I haven't really had a lot of fish action or moved any fish in a while, but now I know that right here in front of me in this slow stuff, they're fish. So my job becomes re-rigging, putting on some more flies, and now I know the fish are here. In steelheading, when you know fish are here in front of you, then it just becomes a matter of cycling through things until you find something they want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I know there's fish here, which is great because I just have to keep working through stuff until I figure out what they want. I want to try one of my purple and black stone flies. behind this. I think that might stand out well in this kind of dirty water. 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're not quite as heavy as my blue steel caddis. So hopefully I'll stay off the bottom. Always thinking what my next move is. It's like a game of chess. Fish are here. They're eating. We just got to figure out what move to make at what time. I'm still going to be fishing a nymph behind my egg, like I was before. But now I'm fishing this purple and black size. I think it's a 14. Maybe it's a 12. Little stonefly imitation. I'm running low on blue steel caddises, and I still have a lot of the day left. So we're gonna try this nymph instead, see if we get any action on it. I'd be surprised if we didn't. One I foul hooked was right up here. There's a pretty good chance there's another one sitting with it. So we're gonna put a couple casts in here, see if we can find one we can fair hook. When the water's clear, you can pick up these steelhead. Not super easy, but you can see them. The water stained like this, it's a lot harder. There's one. Is he in the mouth? I think so. Right in that slow edge. Oh yeah. He's in the mouth on a stonefly. Hey, you coming at me? We got some work to do on this guy. Oh, he got tail wrapped. Ah, get away from me. I don't really want... There you go. Proof that big fish eat little bugs. Let's go. Now, that big fish ate that little size 14 stonefly. That was a fresh fish too, because it was very chrome. But keep in mind, I hooked that fish right where I had foul hooked the other one. So even though the foul hook fish didn't count, it told me something. I knew where to be fishing, and then I hooked a good one. Always something you can be learning if you're paying attention. I have 3x tippet on. With this water clarity like it is, that's fine. If it was clearer, I'd have to be at 4x. But right now, I'm at 3, and I can horse them around a little bit more, land them a little bit faster. Oh, that looked like one right there. Again, now that we found one, or in this case 2, we're gonna keep fishing it because there's probably more. There's another. Oh. They tend to be in pods, these steelhead. When there's a spot where one of them's holding, there's a good chance there's more sitting with it. What are we at now? 6 for the day? Soon to be 7. Hit a little bit of a lull there for a while. That's gonna happen. I think, is that one? No. It's 11 o'clock. I still got about 6 hours of fishing left. 6 isn't bad, but I think we'll have more by the time we're done. With these water temperatures, these fish are just lethargic. They want to take it easy. They don't want to work so hard. So they move to the slower, more calmer water. That's a snag. Okay, let's go for a little walk. Gotta get some feeling back in my toes. All right, here we are at our new spot. Let's take our tag off. Ready to fish. If you haven't already seen my video about using hair clips to help with dropper tag tangles, it's a really easy, really simple way to avoid a lot of the tangles that you get while walking from place to place. You can see I got a lot of ice building up on my rod blank, which makes casting kind of tricky, and also in my guides. So every once in a while, I'll just come up here, scrape it with my thumbnail, break the ice out of the guides. That way I can keep casting, because when it looks like this, not really going to be too accurate with your casting. Got that one clear. Look at that one. No wonder it was getting jerky when I was trying to cast. There. That should be a little bit easier to cast for a while. Emphasis on for a while, because it's not going to stay that way. Also, I gotta keep working my reel because my reel is freezing up, especially now that I put it in the water. It's gonna have a tendency to want to freeze up. It's turning free now. All right, let's find some fish. I just gotta find the right water type. Right now, I just came past a lot of really big, deep holes, which, to be perfectly honest, is not what I wanted. Now I'm in the fast, riffly stuff. Also, not what I wanted. I could really go for a nice, slow bend with some medium depth water to it. Would be fantastic. Let's keep working our way up, see what we come across. Alright, this looks promising. Slower water anyways. We can find some slower water, a little bit of current, a little bit of depth. We're gonna be in business. This looks like a good place for them hanging out today. It's about the same depth I've been catching them in, similar speed, a little bit of current, but not overboard. Let's see if we can find a couple in here. There's one. On the nymph, little stonefly. That's a big fish. I really don't want this fish taking me down through those shallows, so we're gonna try to keep him up here and net him as soon as we get a chance. My net's frozen. Good thing I've been working my reel to keep it free. If I land this fish, it's going to be a miracle because he's got the second one in his tail. He's nymph hooked in the mouth. The tag fly is in his tail, which is my blob. Come on. I think we're going to just try to pull him into the... Come on, get in there. Oh yeah. Oh, ha ha ha. Now that's a steelhead for you. Yeah. Hi, buddy. That was not a fresh fish, thankfully, because he was hard enough to land already. If he was fresh, I would have had even more trouble. You could tell because he had darker colors on his back. Right now, I'm trying to make my casts in between the ice pockets because I can't get good drifts like that one if my flies are on top of one. But it's getting harder and harder because there's more and more ice. Okay, I just upgraded the bead size here on my blob. This is a 4.6 millimeter bead. I'm having trouble getting my flies down through all the ice chunks in the water. So I'm hoping that with a little bit more weight, I can do it. Honestly, as much as I hate to say it, if it doesn't improve soon, I might just have to call it. I can't really keep fishing in this. This is not really doable as much as I want to pretend that it is. Didn't think I'd have to worry about the river icing over today. Thought I'd have to worry about the snow. This ice is like soft, it's like slush. I'm starting to think I'm not getting out of the parking lot. And by starting to think, I mean I'm not getting out of the parking lot. I think there's been, it's over a foot of snow easily. What is it? 1. Oh, look out. That is not something I want to get caught under. Got icebergs coming down the river. I don't even think my flies are in the water half the time. Honestly, they're not getting down. I know they're not getting down because when I'm casting them in, they're just sitting on the top of the ice. Oh gosh. Avalanche. Guys, this is killing me. I'm having a ball. I'd love to keep fishing. It is impossible to get a nymph into this water right now. There's so much ice and snow in the water that I can't get my bugs, even with the heaviest beads I've got, down where the fish are. So, even though it kills me to do it, I think it's time to pack it up and see if we can get our car out of here, because that's going to be no easy feat. Safe to say I stuck it out longer than most. I can still see some footprints in the snow to walk out. Great, now all I have to do is climb up that hill to the power lines in a foot of snow. This should be fun. This snow is literally up to my knees. It's gonna be a long, hard hike to the top of this hill. We're gonna go slow and steady. All of this to catch a few fish. Ooh, came all the way from down there. Just magnificent. So cool. I don't know if I've ever been so happy to see my car. There's no telling if I'm gonna be able to get out though. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it for today. There's a whole lot of snow on this ground. I'm back at the car. I don't know if I'm gonna get out of this space or not. We're gonna give it some gas and see what happens, hope for the best. Thanks for watching this incredible brook to river fly fishing steelheading adventure. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you stayed warm while I was freezing. And remember, now that you've seen me catch some steelhead, you go catch some steelhead. Just don't do it in 16 inches of snow. Bye. Okay, y'all. I hear Subarus are good in the snow. We're about to figure out how good. Let's see what happens. Oh, snap. It did it. That is unreal. All right, I gotta go keep this car on the road now. I'll catch you guys in a little while. Look at this, guys. It's up to my knee.